seasons change and spring is upon the United States. It's very cold here on this Melbourne morning. Good morning, Johnston.
This is freaking evening time around here, and it's hot as heck. I wish it was cold.
You've got
Man,
a jacket
Orlando,
on.
I know I'm in the house.
I,
I was literally laying down before this. Don't tell the audience. Too late.
I won't
But
mention. I won't mention it.
but why not? We're vulnerable. We're here. We're ready to make some things happen.
Here we are. It's been a few weeks since we've been on. I love that the way that we're handling our LinkedIn Live connected across continents is we're treating it as an experiment. So as always, as the audience, if you have feedback, if you have things that you'd like us to try and experiment with or do differently, let us know. We're always open to that. If you think that you are the person that needs to come and speak with us, have a 3 conversation situation for connected across continents, let's try it out. So as always, we are always open. Either contact Johnston or myself if you have any ideas. Shall we get started with today's topic?
Yeah, let's get it. I think one of the coolest things that you like to do, or I've seen you do multiple times, I don't know if you
Yes.
recognize, is that you allow anything to tie into the main topic and point. So, for example, you just talked about if you guys have anything that you want us to do or anything that we need to work on, let us know.
Oh,
It's the same. Yeah, yeah. You teed up today's topic perfectly,
I
so I'm gonna let you handle that.
that was not on purpose.
I know it's just natural for you.
Wow. And your super skill is actually pointing this out. So
Yeah,
I think that you're more intentional about when things happen and I just fly out
yeah.
like
Let it happen.
so that's why the partnership works well. So we're talking about self-reflection today, party
Yeah,
people.
yep. Let's get it.
This was a topic, Johnston, that I was scared of for many years when I was in high school and probably going through university as well. And maybe even early years of corporate. I was scared of it because you know yourself better than anyone else, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like the threat of self-reflection would mean that I would realize how bad a person I was or how unskilled I was. But when I grew into the idea of it and started to experiment with how that sat in my space, very different perspective came forward.
Hmm.
Yeah, very different perspective. Now, before I go into one of my monologues, what how has self-reflection played a part in your, let's talk about the now but also the past when you were in the sports field?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I think when it comes to self reflection, especially as an athlete, you have to continuously be in a place of almost flow. And the reason why I say that is because if you're overthinking things, you tend to mess up more rather than just allowing things to happen. But being able to go back to the tape and seeing like how was the body movement, how was the like how was the energy of the team, how was this, how was that, being able to see it from an outside perspective. But then when you're looking at yourself wanting to perform at a high level, you have to set, like for me, I had to set a standard for myself that's a lot higher than others would set for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had certain goals, I had certain dreams, I had certain opportunities that I wanted to be in the space of, which will allow me to understand that I can't be the same person if I'm looking for new results. Right?
Right.
So I look at it as self-reflection as how can I continuously improve? What are some habits that I'm doing that I need to break so that I can move forward and reach those goals? Um, yeah. How would how did because you mentioned that you were afraid of this topic, but
Mm.
why were you afraid of it?
Well, when I was younger, there were so many things. Primary school, high school were not so fun for me because I was still trying to find what kind of person I wanted to be. I didn't want to
Yeah,
be the person that everyone assumed I should be.
yeah,
But primary school, I got bullied. High school, I changed my hair and started wearing makeup. And then all of a sudden, people became friendly. And I thought that's weird because
yeah.
my heart and my mind are still the same. So that's kind of the stage where I was still thinking about what does self-reflection mean. But I think I was scared of it because I saw it as a limiting view of self. but actually
Mm,
self-reflection removes barriers. Self-reflection
mm,
allows growth, which is what you just described. And sometimes self-reflection can be misinterpreted for being self-critical. That might be
mm,
part of it, but being critical is all about advocating for self to become better. And
yeah.
self-reflection could also be the last project I worked on. There were 5 things that I want to focus self-reflection on, and 4 of them I did really well. So I'm going to
Mm,
continue to do that really well. I'm going to continue that. I'm going to remember how I experience these moments in these tasks and keep doing it the same,
mhm,
maybe even do it better. But then
mhm,
there was this one way that I collaborated with the finance team. And, I don't know that I worked in a way that helped solve problems that they had. And it made it a little bit difficult for both of us. So, how could I do that differently? And that's then where you go and seek feedback. I think we talked about feedback some time ago about how
mhm.
powerful it can be when you can accept feedback.
Yeah.
And I think a good starting point for anyone looking to become better at receiving and giving feedback is to give yourself feedback.
How do you properly do that without being, I guess the best word I could say is without being negative? Feeling like the notion of negativity around self criticism or self reflection, how do you make sure that it's in a positive way so that you're continually growing?
Great question. I just had a friend send me, they're at an event and a corporate event, and they did some selfies. Not selfies, but they had like a background. It was promoting the event. So everyone would go and stand and take a selfie. She sent me
Mm,
4, and she said, "Oh, I probably need your help in learning how to stand in front of, do solo photos. I'm not very good at them." 3 of them were amazing. One of them looked a little odd because she was doing something that she doesn't normally do, hands in
yeah,
the air. Wow. It's not something she normally does. So, when giving feedback to yourself, you do it the same way you would to a friend. First of all, you look at what worked well. I said 3
mhm,
out of 4 are amazing. One of them, not so great, but that's not how you would normally stand anyway. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
I would write that last picture off as, yeah, that was a bit of fun. But the other 3 were great. I can see your bold energy. I can see how happy you are. They're the main things. So give yourself feedback and self-reflect as if you are the greatest friend that you've ever met. What would your friends say about you?
hmm,
Good friends, because good friends can tell you when you're not doing the right thing as well. They can
yeah,
call you out on it. So a good friend might say, "Hey Steph, in that in your connected across continents, I love the content that you speak at, but can you get the microphone right? Because the last 3 episodes, it went crackly halfway through. This is microphone number 4 I'm trying now, by the way."
yeah,
Yeah. So a good friend will tell you what you did well and then find an area of development. Self-reflection is not about beating yourself down. Self-reflection is about growing and becoming stronger based on the lessons of the past and how you can apply that to future state.
yeah. That's so good. I think another top or piece of this information that we should share is the ability to practice the self reflection. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna get it right the first time, especially if you're not used to doing that. I can give you an example now. I was always someone that likes to overthink things, and because of that, it allowed me to put myself in a situation where I'm forced to try to fight myself out of that situation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But me being intentional about the decisions that I made allowed me to rediscover who I was and why I was making those decisions. Right? So with self-reflection and you challenging yourself and you messing up, it allows you to learn the things they need to learn. You okay? Did your mic go out? I can't hear you. Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Yeah, so you want to just, okay, I'm literally reading your lips, so I don't know what you're saying. But yeah, for our audience, what I was explaining is that you got to be okay with making mistakes of trying to figure out how to improve. There it is.
There.
What happened? Was it the mic? That's all right. It's technology. It happens. But yeah, be okay with making mistakes. Be okay with self-criticizing yourself in a positive manner. How do you do that? You kind of give yourself what you did well, complimenting what Stephanie said already. Excuse me. I'm saying maybe you did three things right and one was a little odd, but because that you are looking to improve your self-awareness and your consciousness, give yourself grace because it's difficult to be able to want to change these things in the midst of you learning from your mistakes, right? So, hopefully Steph gets back on here because this is her wheelhouse for sure. Hold up, I think I'm still in it. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Here, this is what we'll end this one early and just restart this topic because I think Steph is having some troubles. Make sure you always tune in, guys.